The waves were calm that night, but the men on the boat were anything but. A massive white cooler sat wedged between them, far too heavy for what it should have been carrying. They had dragged it aboard, straining under its weight. Jerry kept glancing at his brother, Tom Capano, who said nothing, just stared out toward the black expanse of the Atlantic. They reached 60 miles offshore. The air was damp, heavy, unforgiving. Together they heaved the cooler overboard. For a moment it bobbed, silent and stubborn, refusing to sink. Jerry's hands shook as Tom handed him a shotgun. The blast split the night sky, echoing across the water. Holes ripped into the cooler's surface, but still, it floated. Tom swore under his breath. Without hesitation, he dragged the cooler back aboard, unlatched the lid and revealed the truth Jerry already feared. The body of Anne-Marie Fahey, wrapped and lifeless. Cold anchors were fastened around her before she was pushed into the dark water swallowed by the sea. The cooler, now empty, drifted on the tide, proof that would later rise back to the surface. On June 28, 1996, Anne-Marie Fahey was supposed to be home. She wasn't. Her family knew something was wrong immediately. She never just disappeared. When calls went unanswered, panic spread quickly, and by nightfall she was reported missing. The last trace anyone had of her was dinner in Philadelphia the night before, with none other than Thomas Capano. Witnesses at the upscale Italian restaurant remembered the pair. They weren't laughing, weren't smiling. Just two people locked in a tense silence. Anne-Marie had confided in her therapist only hours earlier that she planned to end things with Tom for good. She wanted him out of her life, his phone calls, his pressure, his control. But Tom had sent her an email before dinner, promising laughter, promising a surprise that would make her smile. That surprise never came. By Tom's account, he dropped her at her home around 10 p.m. and drove off. But detectives quickly saw cracks in his story. He claimed he stopped for gas that night. The station he named closed at the time. His credit card showed no such purchase. Anne-Marie's absence wasn't voluntary. Everyone who knew her, family, friends, her new boyfriend Michael Scanlon, said the same thing. Something had happened to her, and all signs pointed to the man who couldn't let her go. Detectives moved fast. Anne-Marie's disappearance was already raising too many red flags, and Capano's behaviour only made things worse. Days after she vanished, Tom walked into a pharmacy and purchased an odd combination: blood remover and milk remover. He also bought a brand new rug. When police searched his Wilmington home, they noticed something unsettling. His longtime housekeeper had been told not to come by around the time Anne-Marie went missing. When she finally returned, there was a new sofa, a new rug, and nothing left of the old ones. But Tom hadn't cleaned up as well as he thought. 3 small drops of blood hidden in plain sight belonged to Anne-Marie. A chilling clue. Proof that whatever happened, it happened here. The blood evidence told detectives one thing: Tom hadn't acted alone. Disposing of a body, furniture, and evidence wasn't something he could do himself. And soon their instincts proved right. They turned their eyes to Tom's brother Jerry. The Capano family was powerful, but Jerry wasn't untouchable. When police raided his home in August 1997, they found cocaine, marijuana, and 21 firearms. It was leverage, and it worked. Faced with prison, Jerry broke. He told them what really happened. The morning after Anne-Marie vanished, Tom showed up at his house with a request: help him dispose of something. Jerry already knew what that meant. They drove to Tom's place and hauled out a 162-quart cooler, so heavy it took both men to lift it. Inside was Anne-Marie's body. They loaded it into Jerry's boat at Stone Harbor, sailed 60 miles out and dumped it into the ocean. The cooler refused to sink. Jerry fired a shotgun into it, but it floated stubbornly on the waves. That's when Tom opened the lid, unwrapped Anne-Marie's body, tied anchors around her, and let her slip into the depths. The sofa and carpet, soaked with blood, were dumped in a family-owned dumpster. Another brother, Louis, was told to make it disappear, and just like that, Anne-Marie was gone without a trace. Or so they thought. Even without a body, investigators pressed forward. They already had Tom's shaky alibi, the blood evidence, Jerry's testimony. But then fate delivered something more. On July 4th, 1996, just a week after Anne-Marie disappeared, a fisherman had spotted an empty white cooler drifting offshore. At the time, he thought little of it, but after news of Capano's arrest, he came forward. The barcode on that cooler traced directly back to one man, Thomas Capano. It was the final confirmation investigators needed. The sea had given up its secret, and with it, Tom's carefully constructed lies collapsed. Just when investigators thought they had enough, another thread unravelled Tom's story even further. Her name was Debbie McIntyre. She'd been one of Tom's many love interests, but unlike the others, she played a direct role in the crime. Police discovered Debbie had purchased a .22 caliber pistol about a month before Anne-Marie disappeared. At first, she claimed it was for self-defense. She said she later tossed it away, no longer wanting it. But her story didn't hold. Under questioning, her lies crumbled. Debbie admitted Tom had asked her to buy the gun for him. She never saw it again after handing it over. That same gun, investigators believed, was the weapon that killed Anne-Marie. The state offered Debbie immunity. In exchange, she gave them testimony tying Tom directly to the murder weapon. Another piece of his carefully spun web snapped apart. October 1998. Wilmington's courtroom was packed. For 12 weeks, the state of Delaware put one of its most prominent attorneys on trial for murder. The prosecution laid out the story in relentless detail. The obsession, the lies, the cover-up, the cooler at sea. They had no body, but they had blood. They had Jerry's testimony. They had Debbie's confession. Piece by piece, the puzzle formed a chilling picture of Anne-Marie's final hours. Tom should have stayed silent. His lawyers begged him not to testify, but arrogance won. Taking the stand, he told a bizarre tale, that he and Anne-Marie were together when Debbie burst in with a gun, threatening to kill herself. Tom claimed he wrestled with her, the gun discharged, and by sheer chance the bullet struck Anne-Marie. It was desperate, it was unbelievable, and when Debbie testified, she tore his story apart, denying she had ever been there that night. The jury didn't take long. On January 17, 1999, Thomas J. Capano was convicted of first-degree murder. The man who once held power in Delaware's legal and political circles was now facing the ultimate sentence: death. Tom Capano went from Delaware's most powerful lawyer to death row inmate in a matter of months. His death sentence was later reduced to life without parole, but in 2011 he died in prison.